So welcome everybody to Team 360 team call, and it is January 25th. Just one kind of reminder, there's 6 days left to get on a team cup, and be sure your teams are registered. I know that I have a team, but I still have to get us registered tonight. So this is a huge thing for your business that really, it will tie into confidence. So I hope you guys will jump on a team, whether you're a new coach, an old coach, whatever it might be. You'll totally want to do that. Is there anybody on this call who's not on a team yet? A couple of you. Okay, don't be shy. Get on a team. You really want to do that. So did everybody listen to the National Wake Up Call with Amy Silverman this morning? A bunch of you got it. Thumbs up. It was a good call. And I'm actually going to reference it a couple times. If you haven't listened to it yet, highly, highly encourage you to. It was well worth it. She actually is from where, not from, but she lived for a number of years where I live now. And she's definitely always growing. And she is someone who has extreme confidence. So after this call, definitely tune into her wake-up call and see what she has to say. So to start, confidence. The definition, or one of the definitions of confidence, is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, a firm trust. So we all on this call, I would hope, have a belief in the products. Would you guys agree with me? By a show of hands, who believes in the Beachbody products? I would hope to see everybody's hand. Okay, there we go. So I've seen hundreds of pounds lost. In doing this for a couple of years, of people who I know, I have seen hundreds of pounds lost. I've seen transformation stories. You guys, when challengers or coaches or friends message me, whether it's a couple of inches, a couple of pounds, over 50 pounds lost. I know some of you on this call, that's what fuels me. And that helps build belief in these products. Shakeology, you guys, my belief in Shakeology, before I started it, I was anemic, hypoglycemic, pre-diabetic, low energy, and had severe stomach GI pain to the point I was on pain medication. After 40 days of Shakeology, where actually I had quit it, had to call Tanya in a panic because I couldn't handle not being on it for a couple days when I saw the difference. After 40 days of it, I was retested. My blood iron levels were now in the normal ranges. I was no longer anemic. I had optimal blood sugar levels, and I was no longer struggling with the severe stomach pain on a daily basis. I was able to get off the meds. So I would say I have belief in these products. So who on this call has belief in the business opportunity? Let's see a show of hands. You guys are more hesitant, and that's okay, I get it. But just look around, look at Tanya and Jesse. Do you think they're lying to us? Do you think that their families, their lives have not been transformed? You guys, it's hard if you look at the coaches and the success stories. It's hard sometimes because we compare our journeys, and yet they have the same tools that we have. They're sharing the same products. They have the same training abilities. They have the same Coach Online office. They have the very same thing. So there's no way not to believe that this business works. Those of you who were at Super Saturday here in Portland saw this when Carl was speaking this time, and those of you who weren't, he was sharing his belief in this company was so strong that for the first 2 years, he went with no paycheck. His wife supported him and believed in him because his belief was so strong. He went without a paycheck to make this company work. It's now over $1 billion company. So our CEO has extreme belief, not just in these products, but in us as coaches and in what we're doing in our mission statement. Again, there's nothing that anyone else has that we don't. So if we all have belief, we all can look around and see transformation stories, whether that be financial or physical. What's missing? And in that definition, that someone would be you. The common denominator of what is missing is you. And I know that's harsh, but it's true. So listen to this definition of confidence: a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities and qualities. You guys, confidence is about you appreciating who you are, appreciating your strengths and your weaknesses, and learning how to use them to the best of your ability. So I want to share my story, not my whole story, but the story of the last year for me, and the story of my confidence. It took me about 9 months to hit diamond. And once I hit diamond, I dropped it so many times. Tanya must have thought I was going to be a forever sparkling green and diamond person. Like, I was never going to be able to hold this. Poor thing. But finally, in February of 2015, I locked in my diamond, and I was able to maintain it. During this time, I was going through huge personal struggles, but no matter how, it's almost like the more people I had kind of going against me, the stronger my confidence was. I was determined I was going to show these people that I was capable. My belief was so strong in these products and in this business and in myself. I was not going to let myself down. So in September of 2015, I decided to go full-time. I quit my job and moved towns, and I went full-time in the business. Now, it's kind of funny. In that very same month, I actually did not hit Success Club. I think I ended up at like SC 2 or 3. But again, my confidence was so strong, and I was watching the momentum on my team gain and grow unbelievably. I knew that the momentum was there, and I knew that amazing things were happening. I had confidence in myself and in my team. So in October, I actually hit the highest Success Club I still have ever hit. I think it was 14 or 15. My team was on fire. We were running coach open houses. We were doing fun things. We were nailing it. But as soon as I felt like I had it locked in, I let some things slip. I wasn't digging into PD as much. My excuse was, well, I didn't have a commute anymore, and I was doing great, so I didn't need as much PD. I still listened. I never missed a national wake-up call, but, I wasn't plugging in I tend to do 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes an hour a day, and I wasn't doing that anymore. My invites, well, I was busy. I was keeping up with everybody I had on my team. I was keeping up with my challengers. It's okay. I'll invite when I need to. I was definitely still doing my workouts, but I just wasn't sticking with the vital behaviors that frankly got me to where I was at that point. You guys, I was leading with the business opportunity in September and October, and that is definitely where I saw the biggest growth. It's easy if you talk to someone about this business to also include the fitness. But when you're leading with the fitness, the business kind of gets forgotten about. And I'm not saying everybody is a prime candidate to lead with the business opportunity, but if you're doing that most of the time, it's amazing how excited people get and how they jump on board. And sometimes when I'm leading with the business opportunity, I was simply leading with, oh my gosh, would you want to, you've mentioned you're interested in Shakeology. Would you like to get it paid for? Would you like to have your friends join this awesome challenge group we have? So I didn't need to come out and say, hey, do you want to be a coach and work the business? I simply was saying, why don't you join us? Why don't you get your Shakeology for free? And why don't you have your friends? Because it's so much more fun when we do this with community. So that's what we were doing. But like I said, I let some things slip. I was on cloud 9 when I got the opportunity to speak at Super Saturday in Portland in October. And momentum for that, again, was huge. But then November hit. And you guys, this is when my confidence got shattered because I wasn't protecting it and I wasn't working on growing me. I have a group of women who I love dearly. I've known them for 12, 15 years. And I really value them. So this is the key. Haters can hate, and if they're people I don't really know, I don't really care. It's just not a big deal to me. You can unfriend me, you can not be interested, that's fine. But when it's people I really care about, I certainly have a different opinion of, what they say about me or what they think. It cuts a lot deeper. So here I was, I've got this group of women, and one of them had bought a brand new house and her husband was going out of town. So she decided, because this is what all 35 to 55-year-old women do, that we should get together and have a slumber party. So we did, pajamas and all, onesies, there was a Snuggie there, lots of wine. It was pretty funny. So we even had a craft night in it. We were cooking. I don't know. It was a hoot. But at one point during this, we were all sitting around this huge table, and the conversation kind of turned to me and what I was doing. And they started asking questions. So what is Beachbody? And what are these shakes? I mean, I've tried this shake and I've done that shake, and it's just another gimmick, right? You guys, I kind of started shrinking back. And instead of leading with my passion and sharing just what I love, right here, like front and center, was fear. All my confidence went out the door. And then as I kind of answered with short answers and, well, I mean, yeah, it's a shake, and yeah, I kind of help people, and, well, yeah, I know you can make money at it, and I'm trying. I mean, who's interested when somebody's sharing like that? So these ladies were kind of, they just kept going, and I know they love me. They were not trying to attack me, but it was like 10 and 1. And so the group of 10 started just kind of bashing on all kinds of health and fitness things, and I just wanted to melt under the table. You guys, I got up to go to the bathroom at one point, and I wanted to cry and run out the back door because I believed so strongly in this, and yet I felt so defeated. And I sat down, and I remember one of the older women who I just adore, she looked at me and she said, honey, she said, it's okay. You've been working hard for a long time, and you've just burnt out, and this is a midlife crisis. When you're ready to get back to work, you can do that. And I just sat there. And at that point, I lost all belief in what I could do. And because I wasn't doing my personal development, and because I was just struggling with some different things in life, some seasons we go through, I totally crumbled. So then as we keep going into November, I'll be honest, November was a hard month. So was December. People are focused on the holidays, so challenge groups got quieter. Invites got harder. I was getting a lot of crickets. It was a struggle. The weather changed, so I wasn't going outside as much, wasn't listening to my PD. And I kept trying to plug into books, but every time I did, it wasn't connecting. And all I kept doing was focusing on how everybody else was doing. I started comparing myself. I would look at different coaches who had started around my time and all these huge numbers they were hitting. I was watching people talk about hitting elite and going to the New Leaders Conference. I was watching all these people who were having physical transformations that I was struggling with because I started having some digestive issues again. So I used that as an excuse to be inconsistent. I stopped sending invites. I stopped reaching out. I still posted regularly in my groups. But my team even felt this because they all got really silent on my team page as well. And in December, the last 2 weeks, I was, I think, at SC2, which I only needed to hit SC5 to finish paying for my trip to Jamaica. I didn't care. I looked at my list of goals one day, and instead of being proud of those goals that I had hit, all I saw was all those goals I had missed. And I gave up. Absolutely gave up. The only thing I did anymore was post on my page. And you know, those posts, they were me, but there was no vulnerability. There was no personality left in them. And then I was posting in my challenge groups. And it's crazy. And some PD I'm listening to now, it's talking about your goals and your to-do list. And if those are written right, you're having an amazing day if you hit 60% of those. Typically, you're going to average between 40 and 50% of your goals and your to-do list. That's how it should be. But yet, 95%, those who are in the 95%, the mediocrity level, those are the ones focusing on what they failed in. The 5%, those people who succeed, are the ones that focus on what they did right, and they keep going, and they keep doing that. And that doesn't mean you forget those things you missed. They simply keep getting added to the list, and you keep going. So I just shared how I lost my confidence. And you guys, if you want an honest answer, it's been 2 weeks now since I actually dropped Diamond. I'm currently an Emerald coach. And that's okay. Because what I've realized is it was time to start believing in me again. It was time to get back to having belief in my abilities, focusing on my strengths, and how I could be most authentically me. And Amy's call talked so much about that, talking about we're going to grow. You guys, whether it be in the business, in life, in our relationships, in parenthood, in whatever it might be, if you stop growing, if you stop striving for things, you're going to slip backwards. It's like we should always be on this journey pushing something up a hill. And yes, people say at some point you're going to get to the other side and it just becomes easy. Well, I hope not, because if life becomes easy, you're not striving for greatness. You're always going to be wanting to strive for more and reach higher. So now what? I've had to dig really deep, you guys. To start with, PD is the thing that in the last 2+ years of being a coach, it has changed my life more than anything else. My biggest transformation has been on the inside because of my personal development. So I'm grateful Tanya pushed me into some more PD that has really resonated with me. As well as I've currently got like 5 books going, but The Miracle Morning is the one that I'm actively listening to and living out. And here's one thing I had to do. I can listen and I can read a lot of books and I get inspired, you guys. Energy Bus lit a fire under my ass, but I didn't do a lot about it. So what I would tell you is whether it be a book, a national wake-up call, a podcast, anytime you're listening to PD, don't just get inspired. Write down at least one action you're going to take from that PD. And that's something that I've had to do. So I have a full day where I'm going to get PD sprinkled in at different times, depending on my day. I have to come up with one action item from that PD for the next day. And that's written down on my calendar. Because I had it to start, so just like in my workouts, motion comes before emotion. You guys, how many mornings do you wake up and you're like, I do not want to push play? That's me a lot of the time. But I won't let myself have an excuse. I am always going to get my workout in because it is now a habit. So if motion comes before emotion, putting action into our personal development is going to help us through those down times because we're all going to have them. You guys, rejection's not fun for anybody. And statistically, we're going to hear no's. There's going to be people that, unfriend us. There's going to be people that stop liking us. We're going to get rejection. So how you overcome that is you keep protecting yourself. You keep building yourself up. That's just part of what we have to do. So not only are we pouring into ourselves so we can pour out to others, but to be honest, we're taking care of ourselves so that we can protect ourselves in some ways too. Our confidence has to be protected. Because if you don't protect it, your confidence can get shattered just like mine did. And if it wasn't for the fact that I'm all in, I quit my job last year, I don't get to just give up. I might have given up. I don't think Tanya would have let me, but just saying. So the next thing, you guys, the reason I joined after stalking Tanya obsessively for like a week on Facebook is because of this community. It's because of these people. Now, there's a lot of you on this call that I don't know. Having done this for a couple of years, your community changes and grows, and you connect more with some people and less with others, and we go out on our own teams and we're building new communities. But no matter what, you have a community. I had the pleasure of getting to see Tanya today. She's part of my community. Aaron's on my team. He's part of my community. I get to connect with him. Erica is somebody I connect with on a regular basis. You guys, I never would have known her had it not been for Beachbody. Beachbody has given me a community that through my hardest times, those are the people I've turned to. And not to brag, but I've always thought I had a lot of friends. I wasn't lacking for friends when I joined this community. But this community has given me a group of people that are more like-minded, that are seeking bigger things. They're just people I connect with. They want to live healthy lives, because how many of you have friends that, man, every time you talk to them, it's like talking to Eeyore. I mean, it just gets old. I want to sometimes be like, wow, do you have nothing good in your life? Like, I'm sorry. I don't care how bad it gets. There's always a silver lining, and you have to be watching for it. But people who don't fill themselves with personal development, people who don't want to take care of themselves, people who don't want to take care of their bodies, a lot of times they're not seeing that. And if we're the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with, don't you want to be really careful to protect your community? Don't you want to be really careful who you choose to spend the most time with? Because let me tell you, when I lived with somebody who, no matter how much I loved him, he was going to pull me down every day, there's no way I was going to reach the stars when I'm being pulled into the depths every single day. It just can't happen. So I've been very careful with who I surround myself with closely, who I'm spending a lot of time with. My Team Cup team. I was very purposeful in what I wanted with that team. I wanted people who wanted to read the same book and wanted to be doing the same thing and holding each other super accountable. And I knew that wasn't the right fit for everybody. But you guys, the team I ended up with, as we were sharing, because I didn't know all these women, were amazing. And I can't wait for us to build each other up, because that's what this community does. I'm about to meet with some coaches on Wednesday who live in my area, because I'm working on building community in my life as well. And these women are on different teams. They are not related to any of our upline, downline, sideline, tree, whatever it might be. They're just people who are coaches in my area, and we just want to support each other. What job have you worked in that has people that just want to get together and support each other? Like, that's unreal. I came from a corporate world where, we were all nice, but you're stepping on each other to get ahead. That's just life. And if you step too hard, you better watch your back. So surrounding yourself with really strong people who will also give you feedback. You guys, I've had to ask friends for feedback. I've shared where I'm at without blaming, And I've asked for honest feedback of where I could improve and where I could grow, where they think my strengths and my weaknesses are, because I need to be working on those. And of course, in asking for help, ask your coach, talk to your coach. Reaching out to Tanya was really hard, having to tell her, geez, Tanya, I gave up. I didn't even try the last 2 weeks of December. Like, that took kind of swallowing my pride, because she's invested in me. But there was no rebuke. There was no beat up. There was no anything like that. There was love and how can I help you? And that's what coaches do. We support one another. So just never hesitate to reach out to your coach. And if they don't know how to help you, they'll find someone who does. So we had this amazing assignment in one of the groups where we wrote a letter to ourselves a year from now. And anyone who wants to really grow and be challenged and make your goals more tangible, this is an assignment that I could do a video on how to do it, or this video could get posted or something. But when we did that, we also were coming up with a word for next year, as well as an anthem, a theme song for my year. Now that sounded totally cheesy for me, and I am not a very cheesy person. So I was like, yeah, okay, this is whatever, but I'll do the assignment. And so I reached out to a couple girlfriends who aren't coaches, and I was like, okay, guys, I need something like strength and fight and believe, and I need a theme song for my year. What should it be? And they were like, fight song. I was like, yeah, pop culture. And they're like, yeah, but that's perfect. So I was like, okay, hold on, let me listen. You guys, I don't care how cheesy it is. When I'm struggling in the morning, whether it be with the workout, sending my invites, just facing my day, I'm putting on this anthem. And sometimes it takes playing it twice before I'm fully dancing around. And I don't dance, but I get into it. And it gets my mood totally shifted, almost as much as E&E. Like, it picks me up. So find a song that you truly connect to. I can't remember some of the others, but they were amazing songs, and they were songs that people totally connected to. They connected to the words. Some songs, you know, I thought about like the Journey song, Don't Stop Believing, and things like that. And those also, sometimes it also brings up old memories. Like, whatever it is, find a song that fits you, that you can push play to, that just gets you going. It gives you that confidence. Fight song, it makes me want to fight. Like, bring it on. I can take on the world. And you have no idea how many times I play that song. YouTube probably thinks I'm having issues. And I'm having to truly live each day with intention. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And this year, I started falling into some of my old behaviors. I started falling into some of the poor me's, some of the I'm not good enoughs, some of the I don't have what they have. You guys, it's not going to work. You have to keep investing in yourself. You have to keep growing. You have to make sure you're taking care of you. Because this is a journey. We are never going to reach the end destination. Like Melanie Mitro, she reached top coach last year. You would think she's done it. I think she's in the Millionaires Club too. She's, I don't know how many times Superstar Diamond. Like, that girl's done it. No, she hadn't. She decided to go again. Like, seriously, if you ever stop growing, you've given up on life. There's always more to learn. This is a destination, whether it be your health and fitness transformation, whether it be your business, whether it be your relationships, whether it be your spiritual journey, you name it, always keep growing. Well, I suddenly hear somebody. Hold on. I'm going to mute it.
Well, sorry, it's me.
It's okay.
I lost internet. I had to dial.
No worries. So I just want to wrap up with a few takeaways and then share one announcement and answer any questions. So first, I've got 5 bullet points. And I'm going to start with, for your confidence, stop comparing your journey. You guys, there's only one of you. If you're trying to be somebody else, they're already taken. And you simply wouldn't be as good of them as they can be. You've got to work on being you. And as authentically as possible. You guys, please listen to Amy's call from this morning. I'm not always good with being vulnerable in my posts. There's just things that I don't like to share. But she gave so much information on other things I can share and other ways to share. Woo, sorry. So always work on being authentically you. I had to actually go through, this was about 6 months into the business, I went through and unfollowed, because at first I followed all the top Beachbody coaches and all these people, and I was stalking people left and right. Then I found I was just copying people. I was trying to be Brandy Botts or Brigitte Linford or Lindsay Matway. Well, I'm not them, and I'm never going to be them. So I needed to remove them from my page. I still go look. Melanie Mitro is highly successful. Of course I go look at her page and get ideas. But I no longer try to be her. I want to be me. So I want to take any ideas she has and make them the best for me. Because people come to me if they want me to help them. They're not necessarily inspired by her. And they won't necessarily connect with her as well. Next, you got to love yourself. You guys, each one of you are a gift. Each one of you have the ability to touch people's lives. And each one of you are worthy and capable of whatever your goals are. So you have to love you. Next is, there is a positive to every negative. So think about a battery. It has a positive and a negative end. You guys, every situation is the same, and you have a choice each day of which end you focus on. And I know there's days that the negative is just going to stand out. I get it. I'm not saying you will never have a down day again. But you have a choice of what you do with it. And when you go to bed on a down day, plug into some positive reading. Plug into your fight song. Well, that might keep you up at night, but plug into your anthem song. Plug into, I have Googled, or not Googled, but on YouTube I found just a list of this affirmations that for 15 minutes are being said. And sometimes as I'm going to sleep, if I can't seem to get my headspace to a positive spot, I go and listen to that as I'm falling asleep. It's our job to protect our minds and protect ourselves. So be sure that you're taking care of you and focusing on the positive. Do what you love and love doing it. You guys, make this fun. Because the truth is, if you hate this, then don't be a coach. Don't do this. Do what you love. Because if it's not something you love, that's going to show through. This is an amazing opportunity, though. And I do believe that whether you want to be a hobby coach, a discount coach, or a full-time coach, everybody can do it in their way, so it's authentically them and they can find their joy in it and yet still have amazing success. But make sure that you're digging into how it fits you and doing it what you love. And then lastly, you guys, this is just me, 3 vital behaviors. Anytime I let one of those 3 slip, my business suffers. Anytime I let one of those 3 slip, my confidence gets rocked. So the precursor to me letting my confidence get rocked that night when I was with my friends was that I had let my personal development slip already. And I frankly had even become inconsistent in my invites because I thought I was doing well enough and I didn't need to do that. You guys, being consistent with the 3 vital behaviors is so, so key. And I know there's times we get sick or injuries, things like that happen, so we're not as capable of doing some of the workouts. You guys, you can always be drinking your shake. You can always be working on your nutrition, and you can always be working on taking care of you. So there's been days that I've hurt my back or done something. I can still put in a stretch DVD, and sometimes maybe it's just that I need to go for a walk, but I'm still investing in myself. I'm still drinking my shake, and I'm still proof of the product. And I'm sharing that journey all the time. So those are my 5 takeaways. And I challenge you from this call, come up with 1 action item that you're going to have to do tomorrow. Because don't let yourself just get inspired and then move past that. I've done that too many times, and all it leads to is highs and lows and no consistency. And then the last thing is an invite. I am going to be leading on Wednesday night at 5:30 Pacific, a live power hour. It's not going to be recorded because if there's anything that comes up as we're doing it, I'm going to be openly sharing my screen. So I just don't want a recording of the personal information of the people that I'm working with. So I just want to invite you guys. I would love anybody who wants to be on a live power hour that you join us at 5:30 on Wednesday. And thank you, Erin, for requesting that because I'm very excited about it. With that said, does anybody have any questions or anything before we close? You can unmute yourself, although I guess I don't know if phones can do that. Sierra, are you holding something up? Oh, no, I think you were yawning. Sorry. No questions? Sorry, phone people. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you have a fabulous night and an awesome week. We still have 6 days left in this month. You guys, it is never too late. I can't remember which coach it was, but somebody was at like SC2 in December and ended up at 10 or 12 by the end when they started like pushing really hard in the last 24, 48 hours. You guys never give up. You can always do it. So have a fabulous week and a fabulous evening and get on a team prep. Thanks, you guys.